In the middle of the wilderness, there is a law that every creature understands without being taught. Survive, adapt, and become stronger. No speeches, no excuses, no waiting for the perfect moment. Nature does not reward hesitation. It rewards awareness, resilience, courage, and instinct. And when I look at the animal kingdom, I realize something powerful. Every creature carries a lesson that human beings have forgotten. Somewhere between comfort and distraction, many people lost touch with the raw mindset needed to grow. But the wisdom is still there, written into the movements of every animal that walks, runs, hunts, climbs, and flies across this earth. If you pay attention, the wild can teach you how to live. The wolf teaches loyalty and endurance. A wolf does not survive alone for long. It understands the importance of the pack, the value of trust, and the strength that comes from unity. But at the same time, a wolf is relentless. It can travel miles through snow, hunger, and exhaustion without giving up. Most people quit too early because they mistake discomfort for defeat. The wolf reminds me that strength is often quiet persistence. It's continuing to move forward long after others would have stopped. Some nights in life feel cold and endless, like wandering through a storm with no clear path ahead. But the wolf keeps moving. It adapts, it survives, and eventually it reaches its destination. That is a mindset worth carrying into every challenge. The horse teaches freedom and discipline at the same time. A wild horse runs with power that looks almost limitless, yet every movement is controlled. There is grace inside its strength. It doesn't waste energy trying to impress anyone. It simply runs because movement is part of its nature. Human beings were never meant to stay mentally trapped. Too many people live inside invisible cages, built from fear, routines, and the opinions of others. The horse reminds me that freedom begins in the mind. The moment you stop letting fear control your direction, your spirit starts running again. But freedom also requires discipline. A horse trains its body through movement every single day. In life, discipline is what keeps your dreams alive when motivation disappears. The elephant teaches emotional strength. Despite its massive size and incredible power, the elephant moves with calmness instead of aggression. It does not need to prove itself. Real power rarely screams. Real power stays centered even in chaos. The elephant remembers paths, protects its family, and survives through intelligence as much as strength. Many people think toughness means becoming cold or emotionless, but true strength is staying grounded while carrying heavy responsibilities. The elephant teaches patience, memory, wisdom, and leadership. Even during storms, it continues forward one steady step at a time. That lesson changes the way I think about difficult seasons in life. Progress does not always come from speed. Sometimes it comes from refusing to stop. The tiger teaches focus. When a tiger locks onto its target, the rest of the world disappears. There are no distractions, no divided attention, no wasted movement. Every step has purpose. In today's world, focus has become rare. People are constantly pulled in different directions by noise, comparison, and endless distractions. The tiger reminds me that energy scattered everywhere creates weak results, but energy focused in one direction becomes powerful. Imagine what could happen if you gave your goals the same attention a tiger gives its hunt. Imagine how different your life would look if you stopped chasing everything and committed fully to one meaningful path. The dolphin teaches intelligence and positivity. Even in the vastness of the ocean, dolphins move with playfulness and connection. They are highly intelligent, but they also understand balance. Human beings often become so serious about success that they forget how to enjoy the journey. The dolphin reminds me that strength does not always look intense. Sometimes the strongest people are those who can still smile during difficult times. Joy is not weakness. Optimism is not weakness. Being able to protect your energy and continue moving forward with hope is its own kind of power. The bear teaches self-reliance. A bear can survive alone for long periods because it trusts its instincts. It knows when to conserve energy and when to unleash force. In life, there are moments when you need to step away from noise, spend time alone, and reconnect with yourself. Most people fear solitude because it forces them to face their own thoughts. But growth often happens in silence. The bear teaches that isolation is not always loneliness. Sometimes it is preparation. During winter, the bear rests, but that rest is part of survival. Human beings also need recovery. Constant movement without reflection leads to burnout. Strength includes knowing when to pause. The hawk teaches awareness. High above the ground, it sees details others miss. While smaller creatures panic and react emotionally, the hawk watches calmly from above. Perspective changes everything. Many problems feel overwhelming because people are too emotionally trapped inside them. But when you step back and look at your life from a higher perspective, clarity appears. The hawk teaches strategy, patience, and timing. Not every battle needs to be fought immediately. Sometimes wisdom means waiting for the right moment. The ant teaches work ethic. Tiny, overlooked, easy to ignore, yet ants build entire worlds through consistency. They carry many times their own weight and continue working without needing praise or recognition. That lesson is powerful. Success rarely comes from one giant action. It comes from small efforts repeated daily. Most people want dramatic transformation overnight, but nature shows a different truth. The ant reminds me that persistence beats talent when talent refuses to work. Small actions become massive results over time. The owl teaches silence and observation. It does not waste energy reacting to every movement around it. It waits, listens, studies, and acts with precision. In modern life, people often speak too quickly, react too emotionally, and move too impulsively. The owl reminds me that wisdom comes from observation. Sometimes the smartest move is silence. Silence allows you to think clearly, understand deeply, and avoid unnecessary conflict. There is strength in calm awareness. The cheetah teaches urgency. When it decides to move, it explodes with speed. There is no hesitation in its sprint. Opportunities in life work the same way. Some moments require immediate action. Waiting too long can mean losing everything. The cheetah reminds me that fear often disguises itself as overthinking. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself and run. Nature does not create weak creatures. Every animal survives because it develops strengths that fit its environment. Human beings are no different. Deep inside, every person has natural strength waiting to be developed. Some people have the endurance of wolves. Others have the vision of hawks, the focus of tigers, the resilience of bears, or the intelligence of dolphins. The problem is not lack of ability. The problem is that many people never train the gifts already inside them. The wild teaches that survival belongs to those who adapt. Storms come, environments change, food becomes scarce, yet animals continue adjusting instead of complaining. Human beings often waste energy wishing life were easier instead of becoming stronger. But growth begins the moment you stop asking for lighter challenges and start building a stronger mindset. Every sunrise in nature is another chance to hunt, protect, build, survive, and grow. Animals do not dwell on yesterday's failures forever. They move forward because survival demands it. That lesson is powerful. You cannot change the past, but you can decide how you move today. Every day is another opportunity to become wiser, stronger, calmer, faster, more disciplined, and more focused. When I think about the animal kingdom, I realize greatness is not about domination, it is about alignment. Every creature becomes powerful when it fully embraces its nature. And maybe that is the real lesson for us too. Stop pretending to be something you are not. Before the world wakes up, shrinking nature your is already moving. Somewhere in the darkness, a wolf is tracking through the cold. A hawk is watching from above. A lion is guarding its territory. A horse is running freely across open land. The wild never sleeps completely because survival belongs to those who stay ready. And when I look at nature, I realize that animals do not just survive because of strength alone. They survive because every creature understands its purpose. The eagle knows when to rise above the storm. The tiger knows when to strike. The elephant knows when to stay calm. Every animal carries a mindset that human beings can learn from. In a world filled with noise, stress, fear, and distraction, nature reminds me of something simple. Power is already inside you, but it must be awakened. The lion teaches courage, not fake courage that disappears under pressure, but real courage, the kind that stands tall even when fear is present. A lion walks through the wilderness with confidence because it trusts itself. It does not ask whether it is capable, it simply moves with certainty. Most people lose opportunities because they spend too much time doubting themselves. They wait for confidence before taking action, but confidence is built through action. The lion teaches me that fear will always exist, but courage is choosing to move anyway. There will always be uncertainty in life, but hesitation creates weakness, while action builds strength. Every time I push past fear, I become mentally stronger. Every challenge I face becomes proof that I can survive more than I thought possible. The eagle teaches vision. While other animals focus only on what is directly in front of them, the eagle rises higher and sees the bigger picture. That perspective changes everything. Problems that once felt overwhelming suddenly seem smaller when viewed from above. Too many people live trapped inside temporary emotions, reacting to every difficulty as if it is permanent. But the eagle reminds me to rise above chaos and think long-term. A single bad day does not define my future. One failure does not erase my potential. The higher your perspective, the calmer your mind becomes. Eagles do not waste energy fighting every storm. They use the wind to rise higher. That lesson changed the way I view obstacles. Hard times are not always there to destroy you. Sometimes they are lifting you toward a stronger version of yourself. The panther teaches silence and mystery. It moves quietly through the night, focused and aware. It does not need attention. It does not announce its plans. Real strength often grows in silence. In today's world, people constantly seek validation, approval, and recognition before they have accomplished anything meaningful. But the panther reminds me that true power does not need to be displayed constantly. Some of the strongest people are those working quietly behind the scenes, building themselves without needing applause. Silence creates focus. Silence creates discipline. When you stop talking about your goals all the time and start working consistently, your results eventually speak for you. The shark teaches relentless movement. A shark cannot stop swimming for long because movement is part of survival. That lesson applies to life as well. Many people stay stuck because they stop moving after failure. They lose momentum and become trapped in disappointment. But the shark teaches that progress is created through constant movement. Even small steps matter. Even slow progress is still progress. You do not need to have everything figured out today. You just need to keep moving forward. Momentum creates confidence. Action creates energy. The moment you stop waiting for perfect conditions and continue moving despite uncertainty, your life begins changing. The horse teaches spirit and endurance. Watching a horse run across open land feels like watching freedom itself. It moves with both strength and grace. Powerful, yet controlled. Human beings were not meant to live mentally chained by fear, insecurity, or the expectations of others. Too many people spend their entire lives trapped inside limits they created in their own minds. The horse reminds me that freedom begins when you stop letting fear control your decisions. It reminds me to trust my own direction instead of constantly following the crowd. At the same time, endurance matters. Horses can travel long distance. While the world rushes, reacts, and panics, the owl watches carefully in silence. It studies before acting. That mindset is rare today. Most people react emotionally before thinking clearly. They waste energy arguing, complaining, and overreacting to temporary situations. The owl reminds me that wisdom is power. Sometimes the strongest response is patience. Sometimes the smartest decision is waiting quietly until the right moment appears. Observation creates understanding, and understanding leads to better choices. The bear teaches resilience and independence. A bear survives harsh winters because it adapts instead of complaining. It knows how to endure difficult seasons. Life also has winters, moments of loneliness, struggle, exhaustion, and uncertainty. During those seasons, many people lose hope because they expect life to always feel easy. But nature shows a different reality. Growth often happens during difficult times. The bear teaches me that survival requires inner strength. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself. Sometimes you have to become your own source of motivation. And when the difficult season finally passes, you emerge stronger than before. The wolf teaches teamwork and loyalty. Wolves survive because they protect one another, communicate clearly, and move together with purpose. Human beings also need connection. No one becomes great entirely alone. The people around you influence your mindset, habits, and future. Wolves remind me to choose my circle carefully. Loyalty matters. Trust matters. The right people can help you survive difficult times, while the wrong people can drain your energy and distract you from your purpose. The falcon teaches precision. When it hunts, it focuses completely on its target. No distractions, no wasted movement. That kind of focus is rare in modern life. Most people split their energy across too many goals, too many distractions, too many worries. The falcon reminds me that success requires concentration. When you focus deeply on one meaningful goal, your results become powerful. Energy directed in one clear direction creates momentum. The cheetah teaches urgency and timing. It moves with explosive speed when opportunity appears. Life rewards people who know when to act. There are moments where hesitation costs everything. Fear often disguises itself as overthinking. The cheetah reminds me that action creates opportunities. You cannot think your way into success forever. Eventually, you must move. The elephant teaches emotional control. Despite its size and strength, it moves calmly and with intelligence. Real strength is not losing control every time life becomes difficult. Real power is staying grounded under pressure. The elephant reminds me that emotional discipline matters. Anger, fear, and frustration can destroy good decisions if they are not controlled. A calm mind creates better actions, and better actions create better outcomes. Nature teaches balance. Some animals survive through speed, others through patience. Some rely on intelligence, others on endurance. Every creature becomes powerful when it fully develops its natural strengths. Human beings are no different. You already have strengths inside you waiting to be trained. The problem is that many people spend too much time comparing themselves to others instead of improving themselves. A lion does not try to fly like an eagle, and an eagle does not try to run like a cheetah. Each animal masters its own nature. That is the lesson. Become the strongest version of yourself instead of trying to become someone else. The wild also teaches adaptation. Environments change.